Now, our present class will be on William Blake's poem, The Sick Rose. But before going through the poem, let us have a discussion on the poet. William Blake was born in 1757 in London. He is considered the precursor or pioneer of Romanticism. Pioneer of Romanticism. That is, Blake is considered the pioneer of Romanticism. अर्थात in romantic literature, William Blake is considered the forerunner, the pioneer, and many other poets followed him. So it's very important to find out the features, the characteristics of Blake poetry before going through a poem of William Blake. আমরা ব্লেককে বলা হয় ইংলিশ রোমান্টিক লিটারেচারের রোমান্টিক মুভমেন্টের একজন পথিকৃৎ পায়োনিয়ার. সো at first we will learn what are the features, what are the characteristics of romantic poetry. Romantic poetry বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো কী কী? You all know, actually we define a romantic story, a romantic movie in a different way. But in literature we will find the romantic features are completely different from that. We consider there will be a love theme in a romantic story or a romantic poetry or a romantic movie, but in literature we will find that romanticism or romantic features, romantic elements are completely different from that. Then what are the features of romantic poetry? How will we differentiate? How will we identify a romantic poem, a romantic story? Let us know. Features of romantic poems. Then what are the features of romantic poems? Number one, love for nature. Love for nature. Blake started the movement, and other famous poets, that is John Keats, P.B. Shelley, S.T. Coleridge, Lord Byron, William Wordsworth, they upheld the movement. They upheld the movement and followed, and they practiced the romantic features in their writing, and their poems are called romantic poems. So Blake is the pioneer of this movement, that is, once again return to nature, once again love nature, once again worship nature, once again protect nature. So love for nature is a very important feature of romantic writing, and in all romantic writing we must find this feature. The poet's presentation of the poem, description of the poem in such a way that there is a deliberate love, there is a deliberate sacrifice towards nature, there is a deliberate devotion, deliberate worship towards nature. So the first feature of a romantic poetry becomes love for nature. Second, love for music. In all kind of romantic writing, in all romantic poetry, we will find that there is a music, there is a presence of music. It may be the song of the bird, it may be the flowing of the river, the sound, it may be the chirping sounds of the cricket, it may be a chaos of, it may be a chaotic sound that becomes very sweet to the ear of the poet. So there must be, it may be the song of the nightingale, the song of the cuckoo bird. So there must be some music in the romantic writing. Third, mystery. Mystery, that is unknown. Love for the unknown or the presence of mystery is very common in romantic writing, and the romantic poets are very addicted to this feature. That is, in romantic writing, the presence of uncanny situation, uncertainty, a mystery, an unknown world is very common. Fourth, love for past. The romantics are very nostalgic to their pasts. They always longed to go back to their past. The romantics are very much influenced by their past memories, by their past experiences, and they were always tortured, or there is a feeling of nostalgia in them to go back to the past. So we will find in our romantic writing, in the romantic writings, that the poets have made excessive use of the love for their past. Fifth, love for childhood. Another important feature in the romantic writing, that love for childhood. The romantic poets very often go back to their childhood or longed to become a child once again. It's not mandatory that in a single poem we will find all the features, but more or less the romantics or romantic writings focuses on these sort of features. Love for nature and music. Another point is that the romantic writing, another influence, the sixth, imagination. I should write this point earlier. Another most important feature of any romantic poetry is its excessive use of imagination, কল্পনা প্রবণ। রোমান্টিক কবিরা অত্যাধিক কল্পনা প্রবণ এবং সবসময় যেন কল্পনায় ভেসে থাকতে ভালোবাসেন। And the last and another most important feature is dreamlike. Dreamlike, স্বপ্নালু. The romantic poets, they are fond of dreaming, they are fond of daydreaming also. So in romantic writings, in many romantic writings, we will find these features: love for nature, love for music, mystery, love for past, love for childhood, imaginative, dreamlike. Now come to the poem of William Blake. In features of Blake's poetry, what we will find in Blake's poetry, the most important feature is use of symbols. Use of symbols. Blake, number 2, use of imagery. use of symbols. In Blake's poetry, we will find the excessive use of symbols. That is, Blake is using a particular thing to symbolize another thing, to define another thing, to define a thought, to define a concept, to explain another thought. But he is using a different symbol. In the present poem, The Sick Rose, we will find he is using the symbols of rose. Here, in the very title, the word, the name rose is here. But rose symbolizes many things. We will find when we will read the poem. Here, so it's a very common feature of Blake's poetry that he always uses symbols. In the present poem, The Sick Rose, he uses the worm imagery, the worm symbol. Worm also, kit, the poka. It also symbolizes many things. So in Blake's poetry, and there is also another important feature is use of imagery. Like symbols, Blake is also very much habituated to use imagery. He is as if he is portraying a picture. He is painting a picture in his poetry. We will find it. And Blake, the very time of Blake is 1757 to 1827. It is clearly shown that he is the poet of 18th century, at the end of 18th century, and there was an important event in the end of 18th century, the French Revolution. The French Revolution, that is the revolt against the corruption, against the torture, cruelty over humanity. So, and the French Revolution began with the destruction of the Bastille. That incident, that revolution, that revolt influenced Blake very much. That influenced the revolt, the fight between good and evil, the conflict between good and evil influenced Blake very much. And in most of his writing, we will find that those writings were very much influenced by this struggle between good and evil, between the humanity and inhumanity, between innocence and experience. And in this regard, Blake wrote a collection of poetry named The Songs of Innocence. The Songs of Innocence. It was a famous collection of poetry that was published in 1789. Songs of Experience. It was a collection of many poems. It was published in 1789. And another book was The Songs of Experience. A collection of 26 poems published in 1794. Our present poem, The Sick Rose, our present poem, The Sick Rose, is taken from this collection, The Songs of Experience, which was published in 1794. So, Blake presented two different forces, two different ideas, two different contrasted themes in the Songs of Innocence and the Songs of Experience, where he presented the Songs of Innocence as the innocent people, innocent mind, good people, good humanity, and the Songs of Experience is very cruel force, evil force, jealousy, satanic force. And we will find this thought is also juxtaposed, this imagery is also juxtaposed in the present poem, The Sick Rose.